Hi there, welcome to or welcome back to Tiff Reads Books, where I read books and I talk to you about them. I just tried to start this video and I bashed my knee twice, and then I couldn't get the angle right and couldn't get the lighting right. The light was making me orange because I just got a new, I'm pointing as if you can see, I got a new like little attachment light. It's not quite a ring light, but because I was like, let's try out some more different lighting. That way I can turn off the overhead lights in here and not have a big glare on my face. So let's see how this looks when we're all done. I'm having a day. So what I thought I was gonna do, oh no, are we, okay, there, we're connecting to the Wi-Fi now. I asked on Instagram the other day about whether or not I should do a post when I find my 2025 most anticipated. I did just horror last year, and so far I've made it through almost that entire list. But this year I wanted to do some fantasy as well. I kind of wanted to do it last year, but I was like, I haven't really read a lot of fantasy. I don't really know what I'm going to read. So I ended up kind of picking some in my head last year and reading them, and it did not go well. So this year I decided I would look ahead a little bit more. And when I asked on Instagram, everyone was like, please do fantasy first. I think I had like close to 40 people vote, and 70% of them voted for fantasy. So we're doing fantasy. So I thought rather than me finding the things first, I'm gonna make it harder for myself, and I'm going to edit more. And we're going to find them together. I'm not gonna share my screen because I am not that technologically advanced at the moment. I haven't played around with doing that yet. So I'm gonna put up the covers here on my screen as I find them. So I start off with NetGalley. I also have a comfort cider here in my Gideon glass because I got really frustrated at technology while I was trying to do this. And one thing that makes me like actually mad is inanimate objects when they like fall out of my hands. And all my cords kept coming unplugged and things kept coming off of things, and I'm irritated. I almost was like, you know what, fuck it, we're not gonna film. But I'm doing really good. 2 videos a week, so we're gonna keep going with 2 videos a week. All right, so I pulled up NetGalley, and it looks like there's books up to August up here. Obviously not every book is gonna be on NetGalley, but I thought I would start here and see if there's any that stand out to me in the fantasy and sci-fi section. Okay, so I've got one. This is V.E. Schwab's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Yes, I know I say bury weird. It's bury, I don't know. I say it weird. This comes out in June of 2025 from Tor. I did request this one and I didn't get it, which is fine, because then I decided I don't really want to do arcs anymore. I don't get a lot of joy out of doing an arc necessarily. It's kind of fun to be like, oh, I've got it before everyone else does, but then I'm like, no, I gotta read it and I gotta actually review it, and then my mood reader brain kicks in and I'm like, no, I'm absolutely not gonna do that. So we're not gonna do arcs next year. I might do a couple, but I'm not gonna be like requesting a bunch of arcs. Okay, here's the about. Santo Domingo de la Calzada, wow, I'm terrible, 1532, London 1837, and Boston 2019. 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. I am so interested in that one. Absolutely, like, definitely need to read that one. There's no cover yet for. I love V.E. Schwab's writing. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna try and not like do a lot of YA this year. It just wasn't working for me. I had a couple that did, but I just think they're not gonna work for me. Okay, The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I am excited for this one, okay? So I started reading Joe Abercrombie this year. I've only read 2 books by him, but obsessed. And so this one comes out in May 6th, 2025 is the current date. It does have a cover. It is such a good cover. I have seen a few people have arcs of this, and I'm kind of jealous. I'm waiting for their reviews because I think it's gonna be really good. This is it says, a brand new epic fantasy from New York Times bestselling author Joe Abercrombie, featuring a notorious band of anti-heroes on a delightfully bloody and raucous journey. Holy work sometimes requires unholy deeds. Brother Diaz has been summoned to the sacred city, where he is certain a commendation and grand holy assignment awaits him. But his new flock is made up of unrepentant murderers, practitioners of ghastly magic, and outright monsters. The mission he is tasked with will require bloody measures from them all in order to achieve its righteous ends. Elves lurk at our borders and hunger for our flesh, while greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With a hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. That just sounds so freaking good. This is also from Tor. So I am a Tor girl lately. Like, that has been the only thing that has been giving me joy mostly this year. Has been Tor Nightfire, and Tor.com have been like consistent hits. Okay, so we're doing with that one. Oh, that's why I know that name. Okay, hold on. This one should be good too. Emily Tesh, who did Drowned Country, and what's the other? Silver in the Wood. Those are the two. I think that Silver in the Wood and then Drowned Country are the two books in order. They're novellas. This one is by that author, Emily Tesh. It's another Tor. It's another Tor. This one has the queer tag, the LGBTQIAP+. This one comes out May 13th, 2025, and says, it does have a cover. I like this cover a lot. Naomi Novik's Scholomance, I've heard it pronounced both ways, series meets plain bad heroines in this sapphic dark academia fantasy. Bro, those have worked. I have read one and that fucking worked for me, so maybe this one will work for me. By instant national and international best-selling author Emily Tesh, winner of Hugo and World of Fantasy Awards. Look at you eating magic like you're one of us. Dr. Walden is the director of magic at Chetwood Academy and one of the most powerful magicians in England. Her days consist of meetings teaching A-level invocation to 4 talented chaotic sixth formers, more meetings, and securing the school's boundaries from demonic incursions. Walden is good at her job. No, Walden is great at her job, but demons are masters of manipulation. It's her responsibility to keep her school with its 600 students and centuries-old legacy safe. And it's possible the entity Walden most needs to keep her school safe from is herself. Yes, dark academia with an older character too. I'm here. This is on my list. This is going on my list. I'm making an editing nightmare for myself. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. I think this will be my one romantasy that I stick on there. The cover is killing me. That's why I was like, maybe we'll look at it. So yeah, I'm judging it by its cover. It's fine. It's fine. Hi, dog. You can go wherever you want. You're okay. He's going to his cave. Okay. All right. So When the Tides Held the Moon, and this one is definitely a cover choice for me. I think this will be like the one romantasy I put on this list because I'm kind of here for it. This is a long synopsis. This one comes out April 22nd, 2025. This says, with lush illustrations and buoyant prose, Vanessa Vida Kelly blends historical fantasy with epic romance at the turn of the 20th century in this unforgettable New York fairy tale of queer identity and found family. Benigo. Benny Caldera knows an orphaned Borica blacksmith in 1910 New York City can't call himself an artist, but the ironwork tank he creates for famed Coney Island playground Luna Park astounds everyone, especially the eccentric sideshow proprietor who commissioned it. Benny's work earns him an invitation to join the show's eclectic crew of performers, his first welcome in the city, and share their astonishing secret. The tank Benny built is a cage for their newest exhibit, a living, breathing, in-the-flesh merman stolen from the banks of the East River under a gleaming full moon. The merman is more a mythic marvel, though. Benny comes to know as... The merman is more than a mythic marvel, though. Benny comes to know Rio as a clever philosopher, an observant traveler, and a kindred spirit more beautiful and compassionate than any human he's ever met. Despite their different worlds, what begins as a friendship of necessity deepens to love, leading Benny's heart into uncharted waters where he can no longer ignore the agonizing truth of Rio's captivity and his own. A cage is no place for a merman to survive, though releasing Rio means betraying his new family, bankrupting their home, and losing his soulmate forever. Benny must look within for the courage to do what's right and find a love strong enough for them both. This is kind of The Shape of Water-ish. It's kind of what I'm feeling. I think this sounds really good. It's got a 4.8 of 63 ratings so far. I'm hoping all of those people have read an arc and aren't just like being like, oh, this sounds good, 5 stars. So Let's see what some of the higher reviews say. I had the immense honor of beta reading this and can say that y'all are not ready for the torment and the joy and found family and the magic that is coming your way. A metal worker from Puerto Rico builds a big old fish tank for a sideshow's merman in this, a book that made me cry several times. The merman is grumpy, which is understandable as he's been fish-napped, and the metal worker is constantly facing ethical conundrums, except not really because his moral compass is pretty true. The Band of Misfits on Coney Island is an accurate depiction of found family as I've ever read, certainly, and they made me cry too, so sure, just call it a sob fest. I'm a big crying baby for the merman book, and you will be too, because it's very good. Then the metal worker and the merman fall in love, and I was extremely concerned about how they were going to make it work, given the difference in backgrounds and oxygen processing, but have some faith. So I think I'm going to put this on the list, because this sounds like it might be one of those romantasies that works for me. So we'll see. We'll see. A lot of the reviews say emotional devastation. I was crying. I think so. That's the type of romantasy I like. Rip my heart out, please. So we're gonna put that one on the list. I think it might be okay. And the cover, is that Gilded Age? That's what is it? If it looks like it was made by elves, it's Art Deco. It's Art Nouveau. If it looks like it was made by dwarves, it's Art Deco, maybe. I think it's Art Deco. Yeah, if it looks like it was made by dwarves, it's Art Deco. Yes. Okay, it's got an Art Deco cover. I got there eventually. D for dwarf. Okay. City of All Seasons by Oliver K. Langmead and Aaliyah Whiteley. This is due to come out April 29th, 2025. I love this cover. And it says, a vibrant and emotional science fantasy about cousins trapped in mirrored worlds, the resplendent and verdant summer city, and the ice-carved wastelands of the winter city. For fans of Every Heart a Doorway and This Is How You Lose the Time War. Welcome to Jamie Pike's Fair Harbor, a city stuck in perpetual winter, its windows and doorways brick shut to keep out the freezing cold, its residents striving to survive in the Arctic conditions. Welcome to Esther Pike's Fair Harbor, a city stuck in constant summer, its walls crumbling in the heat, its oppressive sunlight a relentless presence. Winter and summer alike have both fallen under the yoke of oppressive powers that have taken control after the cataclysm. But both fair harbors were once a single united city, and in certain places at certain times, one side can catch a glimpse of the other. As Jamie Esther finds a way to communicate across the divide, they set out to solve the mystery of what split their city in two and what, if anything, might repair their fractured worlds. That actually sounds like it could be pretty good. So this is Don't Sleep with the Dead, April 8th, 2025 from Tor.com. I love these covers. I really hope they aren't AI. Okay. This is a vibrant queer reinvention of F. Scott Fitzgerald's Jazz Age classic. This is a companion novel to The Chosen and the Beautiful, which was a reimagining of The Great Gatsby. Nick Carraway, paper soldier and novelist, has found a life and a living watching the mad, magical spectacle of New York high society in the late 30s. He's good at watching, and he's even better at pretending to be straight, pretending to be human, pretending he's forgotten the events of the summer in 1922. On the eve of the Second World War, however, Nick learns that someone has been watching him pretend, and that memory goes both ways. When he finds a familiar face at a nightclub one night, it quickly becomes clear that dead or not, damned or not, Jay Gatsby isn't done with him. In all paper, there is memory, and Nick's ghost has come home. Okay, so one of my favorite reviews from The Great Gatsby, because I did not like it, but one of my favorite reviews said, all I got from this book is that Nick is gay. So I was trying not to laugh when it was pretending to be straight. I didn't like The Great Gatsby. I'm sorry. I know the point of it is that these upper society people are just wasting their time and being rich and running around cheating on each other. I know that's the point, but I don't like the point. So I don't like it. I just didn't enjoy it. But this sounds like it could be interesting. So a lot of these things that are calling to me are definitely horror. Horror adjacent. Okay, this sounds like it could be interesting. Melancholy? I was drawn to the cover. I love the cover art. I was like, oh, this looks like one of the Greek retellings, but the art is more illustrative, more cell shaded. So This is a retelling, but it's an imaginative retelling of the triumphs and sorrows of one of the most controversial and misunderstood women in Mexico's history and mythology. Perfect for fans of Sylvia Moreno Garcia's God of Jade and Shadow, and Zoraida Cordova's The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. A real-life historical figure, the woman known as Malinali Malintzin, La Malincha, Donna Marina, and I cannot say this one, Malinel Quajito, was the Nahua interpreter who helped Spanish conquistadors Hernan Cortez communicate with the native people of Mexico. When indigenous leaders observed her marching into their cities, they believed she was a goddess blessed with divine power to interpret the Spaniards' intentions for their land. Later historians and pop culture would deem her a traitor. The Indian, I'm doing hand quotes because it's our Indian, girl who helped sell Mexico's failure to an invader. Future, not Mexico's failure, Mexico's future to an invader. In this riveting, fantastical retelling, Malinali is one of those things and more, but at heart, she's a young girl kidnapped into slavery by age 12 and fighting to survive the devastation brought by both the Spanish and Montezuma's greed and cruelty. Blessed with magical powers and supported by a close-knit circle of priestesses, Mali vows to help defend her people's legacy. In vivid, compelling prose, debut author Veronica Chapa spins an epic tale of magic, sisterhood, survival, and Mexican resilience. This is the first novel to reimagine and reinterpret Malinali's story with empathy, humanity, and awe that she's always deserved. So this sounds really good. I'm really interested in this one, so we're gonna put this one up here. This is a retelling, but of Irish mythology. Okay. Kalia, goddess of winter, was not born to be a blight on humanity, but she became one. She would say with scorn that it was their own fault. Mortals were selfish, thoughtless, and destructive, bringing harm to each other without cause or qualms. One day, Kalia goes too far. Thousands die, lost to her brutal winter. In punishment, her mother Danu, queen of the gods, strips the goddess of her powers and sends Kalia to earth to live and die as the mortals she so despises, until she understands what it is to be one of them. Though determined to live in solitude, Kalia finds that she cannot help but reach for the people she once held in such disdain. She loves and mourns in equal measure, and in opening herself to humanity, hears tales not meant for immortal ears, including a long-buried secret that will redefine what it means to be a god. Sounds like it could be interesting. I'm gonna put it in tentative. Tentative. Okay, so I couldn't find anything else on NetGalley that sounded interesting, so I'm gonna see if I can find anything on Storygraph, Goodreads. Storygraph doesn't have lists for upcoming books, but we're gonna see. There's gotta be something else that's not a sequel to something. This one I'm looking forward to. Here we go. Okay, it's a sequel, but I'm looking forward to it. One Way Witch, which is the sequel to She Who Knows, which was an amazing fantasy Afrofuturism novella by Nnedi Okorafor that I read this year. So She Who Knows #2, One Way Witch. It's supposed to come out April 29th, 2025. The World Has Forgotten Anya Sanwu. Okay, so to read this, you have to have read... Oh my gosh. Who Fears Death? My God, my brain just went blank. You have to have read Who Fears Death to read this as well. Even the synopsis spoils She Who Knows, so I'm not gonna read out the synopsis. But She Who Knows was a 4-star leaning towards a 5 for me. It was so well done. Nnedi Okorafor really knows how to express women's rage stemming from systemic misogyny and sexism and racism, and it's just so from your core anger in her books that they're just really good. All right, that's what I got for you today. This is my first, I thought it was 10, but apparently it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9, but it seems like so far it's pretty slim pickings. I'm wondering if around March or April we'll get more announcements of maybe bigger or better titles, but right now that seems pretty romantasy heavy. So I'll try to be doing some more research and see if I can find maybe some indie books or some other things that sound pretty good. I might do some novellas. I might do a most anticipated novellas video, which just has a mix of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror in them, because I really got on well with novellas this year. So thanks for sticking around with me and putting up with my chaos. I apologize for it, and hopefully my next video is a little more organized, and I'll see you soon.